Presentation from Dwain Deets on the evidence for the controlled demolition of 3 steel-frame skyscrapers on September 11, 2001, the iconic Twin Towers and World Trade Center Building 7, all of which collapsed completely to the ground and pulverized into dust on that day. Dwain Deets is a retired NASA engineer and one of the leading members of architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. So without further ado, please give a round of applause for Dwain Deets.
Well, I'm delighted to be here. Particularly enjoyed the time for conversations with people. I wanted to give it an architectural flavor, and that's why I thought I'd bring some pillars into it, some architectural items. Look at these pillars, key topics that I think are important to pay attention to as you look at the evidence and hear about it. The first one is symmetry. And it's basically that you can't have asymmetric forces like a plane hitting a building and have the destruction be totally symmetrical. Kind of an easy concept. Second one, there were massive members, whether they're girders or whether they're parts of the face of the building, massive building material members, steel, and these were thrown horizontally. These are out of the Twin Towers at very large speeds. Made it a horizontal destruction, not a vertical collapse. The third point are for removal of structure. There was pure free fall in Building 7. Here you hear about this. When you have pure free fall, the only way for the top of the building to be falling at the speed of gravity, acceleration of gravity, is for structure to abruptly get out of the way. So that structure had to be removed so that the building could fall free of iron and other thermite, it turns out, byproducts. There's actually quite a few byproducts that are found in the debris, but iron is the one that is the most problematic to begin with. Melted metal, melted steel, we weren't sure. Turns out it's melted iron. So there's huge amounts of this element, iron, that really shouldn't have been there. And we'll go into some of the other elements as well, but if you just think about iron as kind of a key thing, because it points to the explosives that were involved. I'm calling it a centigrade tsunami. You can say larger temperatures than you can really explain, but it was by a huge amount. 1,000 degrees centigrade, more than what the official explanation is. And so we'll get into what are the reasons, what is the evidence that said it was so much more. But just think of that as C for centigrade. Sixth pillar, explosives in the remnants, actually in the dust. Turned out to be unignited explosives. It turned out to be military-grade explosives, very high-tech. So each one of these pillars, each one alone should be enough reason if there's really a major disconnect between what the evidence is showing and what the official reports are. That should be enough reason to have an investigation. That's really all I'm trying to get that point across. I'm not sure if you can see controlled demolition in that top piece there, but those 6 pillars hold up what turns out to be what actually happened, controlled demolition. I picked the order of the pillars, starting with kind of the largest concept first, the symmetry of the whole thing, and kind of marched to smaller and smaller things. And we got to the 6th one, we were looking at the nano chemistry there. In All you have to do is remember that word. Schmerz. If anyone has trouble with that word, maybe we rearrange the letters a little bit. Maybe you can remember that. I think the 6 pillars provides a guide to narrowing in on what the key issues are. And so when you hear people talking about whatever it is they're arguing about, just think to yourself, is that a topic that fits within my suggestion? And I would say it's not really that complicated. I think the argument that it's just too complicated, as we heard in the beginning, I think as more people understand, they know the key points, and they can see how that makes sense, that they can kind of counter people who say it's too complicated, and just say, well, no, it's not. And go ahead and make your arguments. With that, the crimes pillars, I'll invite you to listen to our panel, and we can answer questions.